It's on Lara.
Okay, I'm ready.
Eliseo, bring him up, Judge.
Do you need a translator?
No, sir. No, sir.
Eliseo Lara.
Come on. Stay loud enough so we can hear you up front. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. Why would we do this? You had one just dismissed not too long ago. Why would we give you another gift?
I feel like I've learned my lesson.
How? How have you learned your lesson?
Like, just the fact that I don't want to like end up in jail or anything like that.
Oh, you've learned your lesson. Really? The thing is that when we are too nice to people, they end up wrapping their car around a pole the following week. You just had one dismissed. Was it due to a PTI?
Yes, it was, Judge.
You didn't learn a damn thing because now you're back with another DWI and you want me to take this time served so you can go around again? How have you learned any possible thing, Mr. Lara? Tell me. What have you done differently from the first DWI to the DWI you have done now to show me that you've learned something? What have you done? I want you to understand one thing, sir, is that you now are building yourself a house with the priors that you have. At some point, that house is going to crack, cave, and your ass is going to fall through. From now on, you will now be looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail. The proverbial slap on the wrist is gone because now, as a matter of fact, with your priors, you're looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail for anything that you pick up from now on. You will also now be required to pay the fines, fees, and surcharges with this case. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't, every $100 that you owe, you will sit in jail for 1 day. You now will have around $4,000 in surcharges that you will be responsible for. And if you don't, there's going to be a heavy, heavy toll to pay. One way or the other, we are going to reach you, Mr. Lara. And if it's kicking and screaming you, dragging you into jail, all we want are our streets to be safe. That's all we want. Do you understand?
Speak up.
Yes, sir.
No more games. Even if you have a sip of alcohol, a sip of wine, you should not get into a car because with your record, you get pulled over. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
How much are the fines and surcharges? 3. Is it above a 0.15? What is it?
Yes, sir.
Alex?
It's for the current case, it is a 0.092.
It's a 0.09?
Yes.
I want you to understand that you're going to pay a very hefty fine fees. If it's above a 0.15, it's $4,500 in surcharges, not to mention the court cost. Now it's below a 0.15, so you're paying $3,000 on the surcharge. I'm going to require you to pay also the court costs as well. When you pick up a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge, not to mention all the court costs. So get ready. Not only is it a minimum of 90 days next time, but you're looking at around court costs and fines and fees and around $7,000. How much money have you paid surrounding all this? When all it could have done is one click on your phone, $20. It's a geographical oddity. Don't matter where you want to go with your Uber, $20. anywhere you want to go. You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no coming back. Do you understand? It will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. And I'm telling you, Mr. Lara, you get pulled over and even have the faintest, funkiest smell of anything, you're going to be right back with us. And I'm going to tell you, I have jurisdiction over you for the next 5 years. Do you understand? You come back, it's not going to go well.
Yes, sir.
Get a clue. Hit a button. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? How much is the court cost? You will be required to pay $3,420. I will give you time to pay it because we're not here to break your bank. But I want you to understand that we mean business. And the way that we do it is this way. If you don't pay $100, for every $100 that you owe, it is 1 day in jail. So you can imagine on 3,500 how much time you'll be doing. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thanks, Chief.
I'm suspending his license for 6 months as well, 180 days. All right, Eddie,
Yes, sir, Judge.
get your boy, man.
I'm approaching on behalf of Russell Singleton. He wanted to see about possibly getting his bond lowered on the misdemeanor.
Singleton. Can you bring up Mr. Singleton, please?
And this is a DVD case, Judge.
Okay, but they're not, are they?
I've emailed DVD. I understand that defense needs to approach. He has other cases, so I told him.
Right.
I did email DVD, Judge.
Okay. I mean, we can just go forward. It's not a big deal, you know, just a bond here and see whether to reduce it. I don't know. Eddie,
Yes, sir. I forgot, Judge. He has an interlock. I need to get an interlock removal.
yeah, for sure. We got you. Eddie, I don't know if it's with Victoria. I think it may be with Victoria.
Singleton, Your Honor.
All right. Morning, Mr. Singleton.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. You know, it's Thursday, Friday Eve. Ready for the weekend, you know?
Yes, sir.
So
See, you have the decorations.
thanks. Well, it's all them.
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer has asked for me, or is asking for a bond reduction in your case, but you know, my concern, and I guess my very, very primary concern is public safety. You've got a lot of serious charges, and from what I see, your bond is now at around 200,000. You've got 2 open aggravated assault cases, and you got an assault of a family member with us. Our bond is set at 5,002. What did you guys want?
Possibly looking for a PR bond due to the fact that his other 2 cases are extremely high. We believe that he should be able to bond out on that. We have been talks. He has been in talks with some family members regarding possibly coming up with money for the other 2 bonds, but reducing it here would possibly help him out regarding the overall amount that he will have to come up with.
Well, so my concern is, it looks like in September, he had an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon dismissed, right?
I believe that case got filed twice, and they.
So what's going on with the cases upstairs? And is it the same complaining witness as our case?
So there's two complaining witnesses on those cases, Judge. And it looks as though it's a different complainant with us.
Is there a weapon involved? Is it a shooting?
On the aggravated assault with deadly weapon, Judge, so in the felony cases, there's two weapons involved, a machete and a gun, a 9mm handgun.
Does he shoot at them? Does he shoot?
At them. So the state would be opposed to lowering bond, Judge, given the severity and the propensity to violence that the felony cases also show.
Oh, I think I remember this case. It's about a neighbor. And it's either about like a fence or it's about some bushes or some, right? So,
So the state's concern is community safety, Judge. So for those reasons, we would be opposed to lowering his bond.
Even if it's not going totally to a PR, if it's possible to do 2,500, that would be.
I don't know, I mean, we gave you a PR bond in this case. I let you out, right? And then you go out, you allegedly have these now two aggravated assault cases where in one, you point a gun at someone.
Shoot them in the head.
And if I remember, it's something so trivial over. Don't talk about the cases though, because I don't want you to.
I wouldn't incriminate myself or anything, but I live by truth, sir. And these people stole stuff from me.
No.
But, Mr. Singleton,
Not that. Okay.
there's a certain way when someone takes something from you, there's a certain way that you got to act.
I'm the one that
No.
called the police, Your Honor.
And that may be so, but there's still a certain way to act, right? And if you,
Washington?
refresh my memory, because I just don't remember it.
I can read.
Yeah, go for it. Just a brief synopsis.
On or about September 7th, 2024, complainant Sarver
Shh.
his truck when he was awoken by the defendant knocking on the window with a 9mm handgun. The defendant then pointed the gun at complainant Sarver and demanded that the complainant get out of the car. When complainant Sarver got out of the car, the defendant stated that he would shoot the complainant in the head. Complainant Sarver advised that prior to coming home from work and having his incident with the defendant, the complainant too was also involved in an altercation with the defendant earlier in the night. The second complainant stated that an altercation arose between him and the defendant, which resulted in the defendant punching the second complainant in the face, causing him pain. The second complainant punched the defendant back and the defendant ran to his house. Shortly after, the defendant returned with a machete in one hand and a stick in the other and was calling out for the second complainant to come out to the street. So it seems as though he pointed a gun at complainant one, and then in complainant two, he punched him, and then when the complainant punched him back, he came back with a machete and a stick.
Sorry, Mr. Singleton, just too dangerous for me, man. I can't give you a PR bond. I already gave you a PR bond. We let you out, and then you pick up these two serious cases. If we give you a PR bond now, if we were to lower it, I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to pick up a fourth case? We're trying to prevent that from happening,
Order in the court.
May I speak?
But not about the cases, okay? Just because I don't want you to hurt yourself,
I understand, Your Honor, but I don't recall you ever giving me a PR bond, sir.
We gave you a PR bond in our case, we gave it to you on 8/12 of 24. I gave you a PR bond. We let you out of jail. You had certain conditions that you're supposed to follow: no weapons, no contact with the complaining witnesses. And so here we are with two very serious cases. If you're able to bond out, and if you have someone, come back, talk, perhaps we can,
My fiance,
but
the person who this is.
you're your own worst enemy, Mr. Singleton, really. I mean,
I'm
you're your
sorry.
own worst enemy.
I guess it's the military.
Well, don't blame it on the military. They're choices, right? And
Yes.
sometimes choices are made such that
I know I need help, Your Honor. I'm not saying I don't need help. However,
The problem is that you can't do that after the fact.
I
You
understand.
got to recognize it before the fact, before it balloons out of control. That's why, and it's not our first rodeo here with you. You've had prior assaultive cases like this. So you have to understand that when you get these feelings, these urges that you're going to lose, you got to try to take care of this beforehand. Now, why don't we have him TRAS'd? Okay, let's see what it says. Let's see how to go forward. If they say that there's treatment that's, I have options available to help you with these issues. And I'm willing to help you and I want to. Yeah, we will do it. But the first things first is I got to have you evaluated to see how we go forward. And if you let me do this, and if you're honest with me, Mr. Singleton, let's try to work something.
I will be.
All right. Can you set up a TRAS for Mr. Singleton? Yeah, please. I'm going to set you for an evaluation. I'm going to have you speak to clinicians. Be honest.
I will.
We'll come back in a couple days. Today's what, Thursday? Come back on Tuesday. Let's talk about how we go forward. Okay?
Yeah,
Look, this isn't the be all end all, but let's see how we go forward. That's why God put eyes in the front, so we go forward. We don't go backwards. All right?
Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay. Okay?
Your Honor, gentleman that has court on Monday for an arraignment, but he's scheduled to be out of town for work purposes, and I brought him here
Today?
today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, okay.
You wanna bring him up?
Mr. Heath? And it's,
I need to give you, it's an arraignment. I need to give you a cause number. And then on that other case you're asking me about? We're doing a PR bond, right? Vic, we're doing a PR bond on that out of county, right? Okay, 1,000. Yeah.
What's this case number?
Your cause number is 253-8206.
Mr. He?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. He. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On November 11th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop for a defective license plate lamp in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, watery bloodshot eyes, and disorientation. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 4 out of 6. Walk and turn and one leg stand were not administered due to the defendant becoming belligerent. Walk and turn, prior to termination, they had detected 1 of 8 clues. The defendant read the DIC and refused to provide a specimen. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. He, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. We will randomly test you. If we find that you consume alcohol or drugs, you will go to jail. And that's it. Do you understand? Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? You may continue to drive as long as you have both, and Mr. Murphy will tell you if it does become suspended. If it becomes suspended, you may not drive. Now, because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance. You do not need to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Murphy, and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're gone and you're not responding, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
that won't be an issue, Your Honor.
I don't think it will, but we have to put you on notice of what we expect and what happens when you start acting up. So we will have you just sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go. Okay?
Judge, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
guys.